Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Thus my decision is to walk with this beast through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work, you're left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We gotta protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no pops. Ebola, worshiping pedophiles, wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system, irrigation, and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher, no am I some pastor or preacher. Was released from prison with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the beach cuffs, realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? Where we should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the Golem, bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Nah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. You almost there. Survive. Come on. What's up? I do it die for Chi-Town. Who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just slide out. Blue sky but high ground. My crown slash helmet. It's for my aircraft stealth spit. Cabby tied down or even seat belted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the fusions in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked across my hand, I dealt it. Felt it vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. It bust all some ices and veil shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room.
And out of it. And I gotta say, not
well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real monkey velvet. Body you not for Mars, is a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit. To a fly though, haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the stiller hand, but we're Hiller man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie, I don't follow, I set standards. To catch me, you gon' have to do more to scamper. Need more to scanners, I'm off the radar. I am as you goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper opera. You stagnated, well I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm dated space Blaze ACL, buster stuck in the case, face off. After the safety state, use a fake, a fraud. Battlestar intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing the step. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, you of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, spray the adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel of a fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A crystal Caroline's what your fans get. Your worlds and pearls what I transmit as a transcript. Or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the pot. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other little people never get a piece of pie. I don't want to go for the better. I go for you niggas that think that y'all big too. I understand this. That's why you niggas got to can't stand me. You niggas just know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people and old people too. Mostly black people, I'm talking to you.
So, y'all really thought that I was done with y'all. Nah. I'm really down on y'all. Fellas up. We not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bond or whack. There's a big fat, yellow, white, red, brown, black. Bow, big fat, whether earth is brown or flat. When I was shipping, enough with the chit chat. I see through the side ups, looking past the side spot. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying,
Millennial, what's up? I got you, D. And the real piece, what's going on, brother?
I got his stroke on you, pills.
I don't want you to laugh.
Some of our folks are still dumb. Yeah, and blinded the fact that love, we gon' have this real show.
That's Olmec and ToLU'S ROOTS-N-TINGS.
This way is real flow. They have to pay, script is laid out. They keep it
They're on Spotify and SoundCloud. I'm only just started because we're going to a softball practice. So how's it going? I want to say the Millennial and the Olmec. Appreciate the donation, beloved. Olmec, wow. Appreciate you, beloved. Went ahead and ordered another book. I had to change it went to another account, and that I draw on me for one and put in when I want to use it. And I was surprised that it even went to that. I was like, I never used that to order any books. So how you guys doing today? We're gonna go ahead and get to a little read a little early. Early for me. I say I got 4 likes, so we must have the invaders up here. It's funny, I look at everything, and I'm gonna share this when he's coming back. If it's not, let me tell you something. They got y'all conflicted in the world where they always say, if you see something, say something. See, this is how they mess you up. And I watch everybody. I pay attention to everybody, and some people just tend to forget. And we coming in, there's a little red car, and the guy's looking at us. Look, and I'm watching him. I watch everything. I'm thinking the car broke down or something. So I'm looking. Spanish dude sitting there, narrow face, Gujar. And then he looks down when I ride by. But what I do is I pay attention to the distance. So when G turns in, I look over my shoulder and I look back because of my head height, and I can see that you can see where the vehicles are turning in at. The funny thing is, when we come in, a Mexican dude and stand there at the truck, he's not driving the turn or anything, he's just looking. See, these fools don't get it. No, I don't want them to. But I just wanted to point that out. Because everybody thinks they're aware of this, that, and the other, and they're not aware of nothing. It's the simplest, the littlest things. This is how little kids, like not too long ago, was able to run in, forced to, unknowingly and unwittingly, and he didn't want to blow himself up, and blow himself up, which he didn't blow himself up. It was the adults, sociopaths, Gujar half-breeds, who blew the kid up. And this is something that's been going on for quite a few decades. You see what I'm saying? You're living in a world of incompassion. If you, for a moment, think your arrogance or ignorance is sublime, and sublimeness is all right, it equates to the fact that attention must be paid, and I will always broach on those things. All right? So, when you talk the way you're doing, you're in a place, you're secluded, even though nobody's secluded, you always pay attention to the little things. But see, let me tell you about the system. They have many idiots out there. Fred Hinkle, what's going on, beloved? How you doing? I don't want to speak negative. I'm just pointing out things. When I'm saying I pay attention, doesn't mean that you got to be all crazy about it I wouldn't never want to be around somebody that gets all, oh, you know. The reality is, you're in a real world. A real one that is fiction. You get where I'm coming from. Anyway, we're going to read The Dome and the Outer Space Projection, and we'll see from there if I read a few other books. So I wouldn't mind reading tonight, depending on if we have a bright moon, as it should be. But if they decide to spray and get clouds to redirect to the places that they have an interest into certain lands, so it could topple and tear that up, and whatever they flood or tornado it or electric storm it. If there's a place and they want something there, even on this land, because you got to remember, democracy. Democracy means they allow 51% to go against the people of the land and to fleece and loot them. The other 49% is the ones that don't care. And that's why I keep alluding to the fact that this is not a democracy. This is the republic. I don't know how long it's going to take for the rest of y'all to get that. And for the ones that choose not to because they parlay, it fits their little, I can sleep with a woman, I can kill a baby, or whatever it is, excuse me. I'm not into politics or politics. This is what they don't like, which I really don't care. Eugenics was always, it was created to go against us. No matter what the story says about Margaret Sanger in Miami and all this other stuff and the fact that she's survived. It was created to get rid of us from the land. Well, eugenics is no longer just in the abortion clinics. And it affects everybody. So let's go ahead and get into this reading because I'm getting real, like I said, I'll walk around, and some people misquote the narrative of walking around in rage. I'm not in the same rage like y'all, all uncontrollable. This is something entirely different. And I'm not saying it to be, hey, you, problematic or anything like that. It's just, you know what I'm saying, it's just one of the things that I just wanted to, you know, point out. Waiting on them to call. All right, so we're going to get into The Dome and Outer Space Projection. Year 1728, The Last Reset by Claudio Naselli, Nos Confando. All right, we're in Chapter 5, The Importance of the Reinterpretation of Ancient Texts with the Invisible Dome. I appreciate those reaching out, expressing how you enjoy the read. You like this content like this. I don't want to negate negativity. Yet, the world you live in, they want you to be sublime, see things, and say nothing. They want you to accept it as it is. And if any of you decide to do that, well, okay, somebody asked me a question. I'm going to say this and I'm going to read. He said, if Trump run and you vote, I'm voting for Trump. And if he decides to get rid of all the police, this, that, and the other, and it's about, we've been at war on my land for a long time. And he decides to deputize and this, that, and the other, you better run if you played any part in this tobacco. I don't care if he's a Jew, whatever. If it's part of the agenda, I don't care. And there's nowhere you really can run. I'm going to share that with all your liberal friends in their perverted ways. I'm not into politics. I'm just sick of what's going on in this land and the fact that the people want to run around cosplaying and hiding behind an enemy who they think is their protector. Regardless of being born here, anybody can be groomed in fashion. If you look the world over, from Vietnam, Pol Pot, blah, 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 North Korea, right now, you look around and the people do their own the worst. And it's by how? I look at all these when I'm riding around, you know what I'm doing looking at these old folks? I'm sitting there and I can kind of tell who was the National Guard, who was the ex-police officer, who were people who've done things, and now here they are old and decrepit and ready to dry up and blow away like dust in the wind, thinking they're hidden. Let's get into the read. Chapter 5, the importance of the reinterpretation of ancient texts with the invisible dome. Another question that was on my mind was related to all those ancient texts that I had read and from which many of us who tried to come up with an answer as opposed to those official texts were nourished. How manipulated were they? Were they also part of the custodial creation? Custodial creation. Obviously, you would have certain individuals that you keep protected and give them the knowledge to rewrite history. And it's not as they so choose. It's by the work and everything else to make sure, because the custodians ain't nobody. Their numbers are great and they have greater technology because you don't remember technology. You have the little things, they just want to disarm you so that way they can clean you up and they can start again in a more perverse way, per se. How manipulated were they? Were they also part of the custodial creation? And then before my question, a very clear answer came to my ears. The reinterpretation of ancient texts can be crucial to begin to understand the invisible dome. From cave inscriptions to ancient manuscripts, they all contain essential clues to understand not only the lost history of an earlier human technology, but also the spiritual depth of the past erased from our history. The manipulations perpetrated by the custodians in Anunnaki that took us off the path we should have taken long ago. Have y'all ever seen some of these stones that are over 400 tons that have cuts into them that are far from any machine that can reach it? And I'm talking about perfect cuts that are not by water power, not by explosives. We're talking beyond diamond cutting devices, almost in lieu to lasers. The fact that we created aircraft, blimps, helicopter, and planes, automobiles and vehicles should allude to something. And all they did was take it and reverse engineer it. I looked at the old world stuff because it was all destroyed, so they had to let us exist to create it again. And now here they are utilizing all that technology, and they're upgrading weapons because y'all are too arrogant and ignorant to better yourselves to come together. Now, to the individual who sent me a message, a Gmail, I'll send you a phone number to call, okay? Because you're asking about yourself, your wife, and your daughter to come out. No, you may want to come out first and see how we're living as far as what's called a living condition. And know this, if it means that you are able to take fiat and share amongst the building, absolutely, because that's the purpose of what we're doing, to share, to build, and to build together. If you want to call it the Waltons thing, I don't care what you want to call it. We've already shared that you all are welcome. Mostly melanated, who got it on the right path. But those who want to see difference, who want to build together and get away from the world of lies. Okay? Like I said, you can smell you a mile away. At least I can. You're always welcome. All right? And I already gave you the what you call it, and I'll give you a phone number to call. Okay? Exactly, hon. So let's get into this. The path we should have taken long ago. Many ancient texts and symbols still preserve insights into the original construction and purpose of the dome, offering alternatives to the dominant narrative imposed by the colonizers. A reinterpretation, they created white supremacy because they knew what part they would play with the children they were rearing, that they have manipulated their genes. A reinterpretation helps to recover and strengthen the cultural identity of the societies living under the IDP. That's the indivisible dome projector. Excuse me. Providing a sense also of continuity, excuse me, and connection with the ancestral past or parts. What kind of text could strengthen the dome theory? Well, the Book of Enoch, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Popol, the Vedas, and you know I have that. The Enuma Elish, I have that. the pyramid text, I don't know if I have that, the Book of Gates, the Homeric hymns, the Tao Te Ching, Codex Sigars, the Sumerian tablets, the Epic of Gilgamesh, I have that, the Nag Hammadi text, I have that, the Book of the Dead, I have that, the I Ching, I have that, the Book of Changes. I'm not going to read that. The Carmina Barana and the Corpus Hermeticum. There's more. But without a doubt, I must mention the one known as the Emerald Tablet, to which I read Book 8, Tablet 8. I think it's Samadhan Table. Since this text is part of the Hermetic tradition and is attributed to the legendary Hermes Trismegistus, known for the famous phrase, as above, so below. See? Which refers to the symbiotic relationship between the macrocosm and the microcosm. Based on the study of alchemy, and strikingly, according to official books translated by Newton, physicist, alchemist, and mathematician, to which we know Newton was a lie. Newton is a lie. Known for the Principia, where he describes the law of universal gravitation, and who established the basis of classical mechanics. The Emerald Tablet speaks about the unity and correspondence between different levels of reality, which can be parallel to how the IDP simulates the external cosmos. And such simulation is nothing more than a reflection of what the custodians wish for the new humanity to perceive as the reality of the absolute universe, thus manipulating their understanding of the macronism. The macrocosms, like the microcosms, which is the greater of the lesser. According to the Hermetic principles of the tablet, change in one part of the cosmos affects the whole. This idea then reflects on how manipulations within the dome can influence the perception and behavior of an entire civilization. According to the Hermetic principles of the tablet, change in one part of the cosmos affects the whole. This idea then reflects on how manipulations within the dome can influence the perception and behavior of an entire civilization. They got everybody fighting about some round and flat earth, and the round earthers, sadly, are the most miscontributed, dynamically ignorant individuals that exist, not saying it in hate or spite. This part is relevant if we consider that the dome may be, and I'm tired of calling it the dome, but that's what we'll call it, dome may be being used as a medium for projections that alter the physicality and spirituality, let's put this off to the side, spirituality for those who live beneath it. The Emerald Tablet also symbolizes esoteric and occult knowledge. Accessible, you know I have it. Well, I have the one by somebody, but the original one I have as well. Accessible only to initiates. Similarly, the true purpose and functioning of the dome is knowledge hidden by the custodians, accessible only to a small group within the power structure, which we call loyalists. I call Zionists. It also suggests transmutation from the basic to the sublime, which could be a metaphor for the human potential to transcend the limitations imposed by the dome, recognize the simulation, and reach a deeper understanding about the true nature of the circle environment. Last but not least, I mentioned how the text emphasizes the connection between the material and the spiritual world. Excuse me. And under the concept of the dome, this could be interpreted as the interaction between the physical structure of the dome and its impact with the spiritual and psychological part of the new humanity, for those who can't see beyond it. Chapter 6, the theory that the earth spins around the sun and not the earth as the center of the universe. I just did a little over a minute sun gazing, and it was magnificent. So let's go ahead and get into this. This theory, and it is still a theory, was determined that that the earth spins around the sun is nothing but a theory. Remember that. This theory was determinant in the development of modern astronomy. But if we consider that the new humanity, or this new cycle, began in 1728, post-reset, we can raise significant questions about the authenticity and sources of our scientific knowledge, especially in relation to the great scientists who were shaping this theory before that year. They weren't great. Manipulators, yes. Scientists like Copernicus, Galileo, and Kepler had already established before the 1728 reset the basis of this theory. However, it is highly probable, if y'all read Flanlanus, it's all blown out the water. It's highly probable that it was another manipulation imposed by the same colonizers, since the new humanity born conditioned under the new IDP, invisible dome projector, from the beginning was going to have great difficulties to reach the truth about its own environment. These theories and reinterpretations by the custodians could be adapted to the new narrative of the imposed universe. After the last reset, the process of human re-education may have included the selective reintroduction of scientific theories that supported the colonizers' imposed worldview by including this way of looking at the universe and reinforcing the notion of a vast and impersonal universe. How many of y'all went to school and the first thing you saw on the teacher's desk was this pathetic globe? They used to laugh at it. And then any time in the 70s and 60s you read about the globe, they say, well, we don't really have a picture of it, but what we did was we mapped together in space and time and created a ball Earth. Anywho, looking at the universe and reinforcing the notion of a vast impersonal universe, scientific texts and publications could also be altered or even eliminated if they did not match the impact they sought. The George Orwellian factor, it sounds like, right? The existence and contributions of figures such as Newton, who had published most of his influential works before 1728, may need to be critically reevaluated. Where their legacies really co-opted or reconstructed to serve this new configuration of the post-recessionary custodial system. Did they really exist? The idea of fostering human significance in this last cycle was far more important than any other dogma and was carried forward relentlessly from 1728 to the present date. Make it make sense. Creating and reinforcing the systems that are carried forward today as well. They had to use the whole world, and we had to be at war in order for them to use it. Are you aware of that before they decide to destroy it? Critically considering history also puts under the magnifying glass the great scientific minds that shaped our minds. A closer examination of their lives and writings may reveal connections to alchemy, magic, and hermeticism that are worth mentioning, mind you. Newton, despite his fame as the father of modern physics, which he is not, devoted much of his life to the study of alchemy. It is estimated that he wrote over 1 million words on this subject. A little known facet of his life that was meticulously hidden or minimalized until the supposed 20th century, his interest in and obsession with the transformation of metals can be seen as a metaphorical parallel to the transformation of the worldview through his well-known theories. You know, the gold thing. It is also known that he studied biblical chronology and prophecies showing a fusion of his religious and scientific beliefs that could be interpreted as the search for divine order in the cosmos influenced by Hermetic ideas. Kepler is also known for his contributions to science, the laws of planetary motion, but he was also an avid astrologer and advocate of mystical cosmic harmonies that he related directly to his astronomical work. His famous phrase, "Geometry is one and eternal shining in the mind of God," reflects his belief in an ordered and mathematically predestined cosmos, ideas that resonated with the Hermetic philosophy of as above, so below. Again, his famous phrase, geometry, no such thing, is one and eternal shining in the mind of God, reflects his belief in an ordered and mathematically predestined cosmos. Ideas that resonated with the Hermetic philosophy as above, so below. You remember when the actor, you know, smack that trick. You know what I'm going to say. I won't say his name on here. Not because I have the disdain or dislike, when he said, how can you have multiplication, which means to add more, to multiply? Have 1 times 1 equal, cancel it out. Cancel out is impossible. And yet you have these scientists who are well scripted, have an issue, an emotional issue, like a tirade. Well, these people get to go to the Diddy parties, if you know what I mean. But he was correct in what he stated. How about the fact that some of you consider yourselves mathematicians? How about the reality that you learn the long form and then they secretly show you the short form, and then when you really learn it, you realize there's even an easier form. That is all a combination of keeping you running in circles. Anyway, excuse me. His work, Harmonics Mundi, is a treatise linking music, mathematics, physics, astrology, and astronomy, all based upon frequencies, showing his perspective of an interconnected universe, a vision that is essentially magical and hermetic, and that is basically straight frequencies that can heal, solve, and everything. Galilei, although a great proponent of theory, his relationship with the Catholic Church and his esoteric studies are often overlooked. His confrontation with the church could be reinterpreted not only as a struggle between science and religion, but also as a conflict between different esoteric interpretations of the universe. There is evidence that Galileo was deeply interested in other mystical texts, which may have influenced his interpretation and presentation, of the solar system. Next we'll begin is chapter 7, social manipulation. And as you also know, that's the reason, one of the reasons why I am a major, and I still study on my own, read little parts here and there on my tablet, night before I go to sleep, or I'm watching something before I watch it, of sociology. And I'm not saying it's correct and it's the foundation of any truth whatsoever. I'm just saying, as far as in the narrative what we're dealing right now, there are a lot of inclusive things other than things that I've learned over the time frame of travel and the people I've met and questions I've asked, because certain questions can always be a great proponent to enlightenment, seeing things differently, and raising the proper questions. Another thing I wanted to strike on that nobody ever really thought about. How about the fact that most of those people being murdered back then, and they were saying they were using magic, is because they were attempting to put in the cornerstone all the magic unfound that they find now, and then turn around and use it against you. Anyway, hey, the temperature's fine. Patricia Griffin, hey, Scroll Sniper, what's up? Water, the key of life. Awesome. Appreciate you, Marcus Williams. Oh, Mac, yo, appreciate the donation, beloved. Ping! Greetings, yes, Squirrel Sniper. Tell him, Marcus Williams, I got you. Hey, look, I got to get ready to go to this softball practice. I want to watch and enjoy. I want to see how they go about it. Andy Rella, what's going on, beloved? What's happening? Fred Ingles, great to see you again. Like I said, it's good to have you all here. Anyway, let's go ahead and you guys share this. You know the donations are open. I wanted to see what this individual said. What is it saying? No, it just wants me to view, delete it. Did you vote for Trump? You know what? Get out of here. Anyway, I appreciate you. All right, it's nothing but straight from the heart. My beloved sisters and my brothers, we'll keep this moving forward. No swearing, no agitating, angry. I got to get ready to go and watch the softball practice. I just want to watch. I just want to be doing something different until we get a certain issue taken care of. All right? See you guys later. All right? And thank you.